When will you learn how to handle my thought, how to handle my emotion? We will give you tools, how to figure this machine out. Whatever the issue, we'll do our best, but this should not be the issue.
In life, there are many phases where we feel that we are depressed, we are lonely, and when everybody is against us and there is no one to, guide us or talk about it. So at that moment, how should we handle it or how should we deal with it?
See, this is an unfortunate condition that a whole lot of human beings are in their experience. In their personal experience, life is like me versus the universe. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do. That's not a competition you must get into. Hello? Me versus the universe is a bad competition to get into. Would you also agree with me? So, this is why yoga. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning your body. The word yoga means union. Right now it's me versus the universe. This is just your psychological condition. This is not the reality. Even when you feel utterly lonely, are you still breathing? So you're transacting with the world, isn't it? Yes? You only can't get along with the people around you, but the atmosphere is okay with you, food is okay if it tastes good, water is okay. You have transaction with the world, isn't it? Your existence is constantly an engagement with the universe, but your mind becomes against the universe. If you create a psychological condition that you're against or you're in competition with the universe or the cosmos, obviously you will feel crushed for small things. Little things will crush you. When I say little things, maybe you failed your examination, maybe you got thrown out of this university, maybe you got fired from a job, maybe somebody ditched you, maybe something else like this happened. These are all small things between life and death. Because you came here with nothing, isn't it? When you die, there is no container service for you. You die with nothing. In spite of that, most people have turned their homes into warehouses. Most people are carrying such a huge baggage on their head as if they're carrying the whole universe on their head. This is their own psychological condition. Your thought and emotion is what you're talking about, right? Now you're going to figure out how to handle your thought and emotion. Not hers, not hers, not his, yours. When are you going to learn how to handle my thought and my emotion? At the end of your life? The only problem really with life is just this. Most human beings have taken themselves too seriously. They don't understand. You've seen on the computer screen these pop-ups? You are a pop-up on this planet. You pop up for 2 seconds and pop out. No, you must see, countless number of people like you and me have walked this planet. They were also big people. Where are they? All topsoil? Topsoil or no? Unless somebody, your friends decide to bury you real deep, fearing that you may rise from the dead. There have been such instances. Or maybe you're planning to go to heaven. Hello? Anybody who talks about a place other than this place, as a better place than this is a crime against humanity. My fundamental work is to destroy all heavens so that people will learn to live well here. All these idiots who made a hell out of themselves, they want to go to heaven. They made a mess out of this place and then they want to go to heaven. I'm asking you, do you have any proof? Do you have any proof that you are not already in heaven and messing it up? Do you have any proof? You're already in heaven, making a mess out of it. Yes, simply because you are not even learning how to handle your basic faculties of thought and emotion, isn't it? Your only justification is, everybody is like this only, that's how it is in a madhouse. That is how it is in a madhouse, only a doctor looks crazy. So when are you going to handle it? Slowly, at the age of 60? I'm asking. When will you learn how to handle my thought, how to handle my emotion, how to handle my body, how to handle my chemistry? When are you going to figure this? At the end of your life? Because this culture has grown, when to do spirituality means when you're 70, when you're no good for anything else. No, at the earliest possible time, whatever is most profound about you, not about heavens, about this life, everything that you need to know, you must know soonest, isn't it? Only then you will live a sensible life. Okay, if I tell you a joke, you won't get offended. Because this is the most serious crowd I've ever seen in the last few years. How many of them are journalism? Most of them? Okay. This happened. Shankaran Pillai, when he was in Paris, was married to a French woman. One day, it was their anniversary, first anniversary. So she invited a bunch of friends and she wanted to cook something really fresh, everything fresh. So from morning, she was driving him to this market, that market, he got this fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh chicken, this, that, everything. Then in the evening she said, because the French have this, snail appetizer, she said, go to the beach and get some snails, fresh, and I will make some appetizer for all the friends who are coming. So Shankaran Pillai went to the beach and he was picking up all the snails and putting it in a bucket. Then he met an old friend, an Indian guy. They hit it off and they were talking about their old times. He just forgot that he's married. You know, when you meet old friends, it happens. And both of them went to a bar and they had a few drinks and he just forgot. Then he realized, then the snails were just climbing out and one snail fell out of the bucket. He realized, oh my God, I'm supposed to take these snails, my wife, French wife, she's waiting. So he said, I need to go, and he went. By then it was already very late. He went, he knew it's not going to be pleasant. So he came near the house and spilled all the snails on the ground, threw away the bucket and went and knocked on the door. The French fury came. He turned back and said, come on you guys, we're almost there, come on, let's go. So, when are you going to pick your snails and put them in the bucket and fix them? Huh? Your problems, you must fix them, isn't it? These are not problems. I want you to understand, you are not suffering your life. You're only suffering two fantastic faculties that only… It's a privilege of being human that we have these two fantastic faculties. One is, we have a vivid sense of memory. This is because of this memory our life is so rich, unlike any other creature. And we have a fantastic sense of imagination. Now, this is what you're suffering. What happened 10 years ago, you can still suffer. Why? Are you suffering life or memory? Hello? Memory. What may happen day after tomorrow, you're already suffering? Are you suffering life or imagination? Two most fantastic faculties you have, you're suffering. So what are you asking for? You want to become once again an earthworm. An earthworm is a very eco-friendly creature, I have nothing against it. But it took millions of years of evolution to get you this size of brain, and now you're suffering it. If we take away half your brain, of course you will sit there without any anxiety, without any suffering, peacefully. What we need is, we need to remove your brain, because you are suffering your own intelligence. Yes or no? Because we gave you a very complex machine, you have not bothered to read even the user's manual. You want to just blunder around. No, young people, it's time you figure out a few things about you. If you don't know how, we will give you tools how to figure this machine out, because in your life, many issues will come. More issues come up in your life means you're living a more active life. Nothing came up means you're not living. Yes? Lots of issues every day. I have the maximum number of trouble going on in my life on a daily basis, because so much of activity around the world, global level of activity only with volunteers, okay? Volunteers means nobody is qualified for the job and you can't fire them for inefficiency and they love you, what to do? This one thing you must fix, that is, in your life, you are not the issue, okay? Whatever the issue, we'll do our best, but this should not be the issue. Meditation is a phenomenal empowerment that you can do whatever is needed in the world, whatever, I mean that, and still remain untouched by the process of activities that we need to conduct in the world. If you sit here, your body is here, your mind is there, who you are is little away. This is the end of suffering. And this is meditativeness. Namaskaram. Probably the second most repeated word, oft-repeated word in these last few weeks, apart from coronavirus, is meditation. Everybody is suddenly, people who had never meditated in their lives, never even considered that possibility, are now suddenly talking about meditation, the need to meditate, wanting to meditate. Let us examine this meditation, what this is. First of all, what does the word meditation mean? The English word meditation doesn't really mean anything, in the sense, it doesn't say anything specific. If anybody sits normally with their eyes closed, it's assumed they must be meditating. One can sit with their eyes closed and do many things. You can do japa, tapa, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, shunya, samyama, or you might have just mastered the art of sleeping in vertical postures. So the word meditation in English language doesn't specify anything. Generally we assume, or generally people assume that meditation means dhyana. In Tamil Nadu it's dhyanam, if you go little north, it's dhyana, if you go really up north, it's dhyan. If you go further up, it becomes chan, if you go little more east, it becomes zen. Same thing. So, what is this dimension that we are trying to describe with this word meditation? One fundamental thing that we need to understand is, you cannot do meditation because meditation is a quality. A quality is a consequence of a certain process. You can initiate a process, you can conduct a process. You cannot conduct a quality. Quality is just a consequence. It is like you want flowers in your garden. You don't sit there and do flower meditation. You know what happened to the flower people If you want flowers in your garden, you don't have to think flowers. You have to think soil, manure, water, sunlight. If you conduct this process of these ingredients properly, flower and fruit is a consequence. But today, the world has become so goal-oriented. Because they're so goal-oriented, they are not interested in the soil, definitely not interested in the manure and all the other things, but they want flowers and fruit. If you want flowers without soil, manure, water and sunlight, well, you will have to settle for plastic flowers. Plastic flowers are very wonderful. Those who think of utility, it serves you in many different ways. It comes with a 5-year guarantee. Flowers are a nuisance. If you keep flowers in your house, you have to look at them at least 5 times in a day, what's happening, are they thriving well or not? But if you keep plastic flowers in your home, 5 years guarantee, unlike your life. If you're alive, there is so much to do. You even have to dodge the virus, invisible virus. But the dead only have to be preserved. So essentially, the dimension and the process that you're referring to as meditation is very life-oriented. When I say life-oriented, today largely you're material-oriented or at the most mind-oriented, maybe emotion-oriented or physical body, which is a material again. Largely life has become like this. People's idea of life is, if someone says, my life, you're supposed to understand they're talking about their job. They're talking about the economic condition in the country or in the world, about their car, maybe about their dog, sometimes about their husbands or wives. It could be anything. But the only thing that's truly life is what is throbbing in this is life. The rest are arrangements that we have made, hoping that these arrangements will allow us to enhance our life. Whether it's education, career, relationships, marriage, children, wealth, whatever. All these things one is after only in the hope that it will enhance our life. As you know, most people, instead of enhancing their life, largely get entangled with these accessories. Accessories have become larger than the life process. Well, I think in a very cruel way, the virus is bringing focus on the life, you suddenly understand your expensive home has become a prison. Your expensive car is as good as junk because you can't drive it, at least for some time. And right now, the world is in a situation where we do not know how long will it take before you're back on the road and swing around a little bit in your automobile? You do not know. So now naturally a whole lot of people are asking all over the world, how to meditate, what should I do? As I said, you cannot meditate, but you can become meditative because it's a quality. If one cultivates their body, mind, emotion and energies to a certain level of maturity, you will be naturally meditative 24 hours of the day. Meditation is not an impairment that if you're meditative, you have to close your eyes and be limited to one place. Meditation is a phenomenal empowerment that you can do whatever is needed in the world, whatever, I mean that. Whatever is needed in the given situation and still remain untouched by the process of activities that we need to conduct in the world. This empowerment or without this empowerment, in fact, a human being is crippled because if what you have to think, feel, understand and act in the world is going to rub off on you in such a big way, naturally you will hesitate to do what is needed. Naturally you will avoid doing things that need to be done. In a way, the moment you are in a state where your own activity and the activity of the world around you and the activity of your mind and your emotion, once they're impacting you every moment of your life, then in some way you will cripple yourself because naturally you would want to keep the scale of your life very limited because activity, thought, emotion, involvement with life can cause enormous amount of suffering. Once there is fear of suffering, knowingly or unknowingly, you will limit the scope and possibilities of your life. Meditation means just this, in a very simple way if we have to put it. If you sit here, your body is here, your mind is there, who you are is little away from these two dimensions of physical body and mental accumulations. These two accumulations of body and mind, if a little space arises between you and this is the end of suffering. And this is meditativeness. Chakriya is an extremely simple process but a powerful tool. These three ingredients, your breath, your thought and your awareness, in the right combination, if you use them, your ability to use the mind and the body is so greatly enhanced that you almost look superhuman for somebody else. But I'm telling you, this is human. This is not about being superhuman. This is about realizing being human is super.
Well, if you made it here, it shows you're ready to change. You're done with running. This kind of attention is rare, it's precious. Drop your city in the comments, and if you'd like, share this with someone who's also thirsty for clarity. Thank you, Big Hug, and see you soon.